2, 1, 2. Slacker 82 Alpha. Maverick in the booth. Lock the doors. Nobody gets out. Nobody. Left side lying. Right side crying. Think of the names on the ballot. Throw the whole box in the gutter. Red tie, blue tie, same vulture. Feeding on the scraps of the street. You talk big from the hill, but the basement is flooding. Promises rot in the sun, like trash on the curb. I see the wolf in the vest, see the wolf in the vest. You think you are untouchable. I am the heavy hand, I am the cold wake-up call. No more handshakes, no more fake smiles, just the raw truth slamming into your chest. No one is safe, no one. Maverick is here, the wrath is coming down. Break the lock, kick the door. No one is safe, no one. Truth is like a hammer, no one. Truth hits is like a hammer. Red or blue, you all fall. Slacker 82 Alpha. I don't care who you vote for. You are all getting played. The system is a rusted trap, and I am the one with the bolt cutters. Shout it till your lungs burst. Shout it's ugly and loud. The truth is ugly and loud. Stop looking for a hero. Look at the dirt on your hands. They sell you a vision, then they steal your boots. I am the noise in the alley, the grit in your teeth. I keep your head down, or get it taken off. The truth is out. Maverick is the judge. Court is in session. Shut it down. Slash down. Slacker 82 Alpha. We out. Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Slacker.
All right, sorry about that. Started to play again. All right, welcome to another edition of Slacker 82. I'm your host, Maverick. Welcome. Excuse me. I know I haven't done one. I just decided to do another one. Pretty soon I'll get on a schedule where you guys will know when the show's going to be on all the time. Right now, it's just trying to get things in order. All right. So, what's going on, people? What's going on? What's going on? Well, a lot going on right now. Look at Putin. Title of the show, Putin, the final chapter. Is it the final chapter for Putin? Well, I was reading today. Let's see what we got here. I know I was reading something today about Putin. But of course, now I can't find the article that I was reading. Of course not. When you need it, you can't find it. Sorry, I thought I had it here in my notes, but I don't know what happened to it. They don't want me talking about that. Yeah, just let me scan through real quick here. If not, I'll look for it after and we'll just move on if I can't find it. Dun, 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 dun. Well, that's interesting that I can't find it now. All right. Well, I at the moment don't see it. So we'll have to get back to that one. Um, well, let's see what else we got going on here. So it looks like Lauren Boebert has made Trump's hit list. Uh, you can add her to the list of other people. It says here President Donald Trump went off on Representative Lauren Boebert, Republican of Colorado, on Saturday night, calling her a weak minded stooge for traveling to Kentucky to campaign for Representative Thomas Massey, Republican of Kentucky, also, whom the president also skewed for being disloyal, ungracious, and sanctimonious fool. The president then threatened to pull his endorsement for Boebert, saying it would be an honor to do so. Trump fumed Boebert, Massey, and Senator Rand Paul in back-to-back both on Truth Social. So let me get this right. So now Boebert is now on Trump's hit list but she joins a good crew there. She joins Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, who's the other one? Megyn Kelly, Rand Paul, obviously, and Thomas Massey. Quite a list he's got going there. Now, mind you, what do these all have in common? These all people have in common is that they stood up to Trump, that they did not just bow down, kiss the ring, so to speak. So, and then once you do that, I mean, once you disagree with Trump, it's automatic. You're done. He talks bad about you. He has to say everything bad and make everybody believe that you're these bad people. Because of that, it's a little bit crazy. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't necessarily agree with all the people all the time on that list. But I do understand. But it's a simple fact with Trump. It's the same whether it's these guys or it's anybody. I mean, soon as you disagree with him, then you're disloyal, you're low IQ, and he tries to degrade you as much as he can to make people turn against you. So people don't listen to what they have to say, and a lot of time it works. I mean, look, there's some hardcore Trump supporters out there that as soon as Trump says, "Oh, Trump said he's bad," so like Alex Jones, for instance, I was never a huge fan of Alex Jones, but lately I've become more of a listener of him, because it's like he's seen the light, he took the blinders off and he's seeing everything that's going on. And I agree with him, with a lot of things that he's saying now, I mean, he's hitting Trump pretty hard. He still supports Trump, but he and that's the thing, with the MAGA hardcore Trump supporters, if you don't agree with everything that he says and everything that he does, with nothing else, you're on the wrong side. You're a Democrat, you're a liberal, you're this, you're that. And I mean, look, I get it all the time because I hit Trump all the time. I like Trump. He's done a lot of good things, but this time around, he's not the same guy that he was in back, in 2016. I don't care what you say. You can argue with me. You can send me emails and messages and comments and say that I'm wrong. That's your prerogative. You can say, but on my show, I'm telling you my opinion, and that's my opinion. And it's not only my opinion. You just got to do your research. A lot of the hardcore people that used to support Trump that helped him get in this time around have now backed off from him because of all these things. He's going back on a lot of the campaign promises that he did, we voted for him and to get him in there on. And you cannot like what I have to say, but and a lot of people won't, I'm sure. But take the blinders off. That's all I can tell you. Take the blinders off, and the truth will set you free, buddy. I was telling somebody that today. Oh, this and that. They were talking about Margie Taylor Greene and saying, "Oh, she quit and this and that." And I said, "Well, she had enough of the crap. She had enough. She wasn't taking this shit anymore. She wasn't taking the pill. Drinking the Kool-Aid, whatever you want to call it. She wasn't doing that. And then she said she had enough, and I don't blame her. Hey, I probably would have done the same thing. I don't know, but it's crazy. So back to Boebert. I'm not exactly 100% sure what she did to get on his list. Other than, I guess, because it says Boebert, Trump said Boebert is campaigning for the worst Republican congressman in history of this country, Thomas Massey of the great Commonwealth of Kentucky, and anybody who can be that dumb deserves good primary fight. Trump posted, even though I long ago endorsed Boebert, if the right person came along, it would be my honor to withdraw that endorsement and endorse a good and proper alternative. Just let me know. Announce your candidacy, and I'll be there for you. The kiss of death. Like I said, but that's typical Trump. I mean, that's typical. You don't follow me, you don't agree with me, then you're bad, and that's it. There is no anything else. And it's stupid, but that's the way it is. I mean, so let's move on here. That's enough of that. U.S. eyes attack drone threat from Cuba. Really? So let me get this right. Cuba's out of oil. I mean, the people are starving in Cuba, thanks to the American, to us, basically. But according to them, Cuba has acquired more than 300 military drones and recently began discussing plans to use them to attack U.S. base at Guantanamo Bay. U.S. military vessels in possible Key West, Florida, 90 miles north of Havana, according to classified intelligence. Ooh, classified intelligence. Intelligence could, I don't know. I mean, it screams to me another false flag. Oh, there's gonna be a drone attack somewhere, and they're gonna blame it on Cuba, and then that's our excuse to go in and take Cuba. Well, I mean, Trump's already said, as soon as I'm finished in Iran, we're gonna, on the way back, we'll just stop at Cuba and take Cuba too. I mean, which is the most ridiculous, stupid thing I've ever heard. But it's good for him and it's good for his buddies, because if we take Cuba, then they can turn that place into the hottest place around. You know what I mean? Build all kinds of high rises on the water, and and turn Cuba into some lavish country. That's not helping the people. I mean, it's not helping their people. That's helping Trump's people in line in his pocket, because I'm sure he'll put a golf course, Trump hotel there in Cuba. I don't agree with what we're doing in Cuba. I don't believe, we want regime change. Well, you know what? You're starving the Cuban people who haven't done anything to the United States. All right, you want regime change, but you're killing the Cuban people in the meantime. The same thing was, I'll get to that one later. But yeah, so I mean, now we're worried that they're going to attack Guantanamo Bay with their drones. I mean, come on. I mean, you gotta. I mean, people, if you can't see these things and see what's going on and take the blinders off so you can see the reality of it. The reality of it is Trump wants Cuba. I mean, and it's not because he's so concerned about the Cuban people, because he's not. They have investors investors lined up waiting for this to happen, for us to go in and clear out that regime and put somebody in there that'll bow down to the Americans and allow all this big companies to come in and build all these high rises and do all kinds of stuff. Well, meanwhile, often further inland in Cuba, you still have the slums and people starving for food, and so don't play it as Trump's trying to be the big rescuer and go in and help the Cuban people, because that's not what's happening. He's lining his pockets, and he's lining all his investor friends, the big money people, their pockets. That's what's going to happen. Again, you may not like what I have to say, but I'm calling it as I see it, and that's exactly what he's doing. I don't believe that Cuba is going to attack us with their drones. They're going to track Key West. Oh, they're going to they're going to attack Guantanamo Bay. Give me a break. I don't believe that. I don't. All I see is a false flag event coming, and that'll clear the way for Trump to send troops or whatever he needs to into Cuba. Because they'll say, "Oh, we have to." Cuba's about to attack us, just like Iran was about to attack us. I mean, come on. It just, I don't believe it, and I won't believe it. It just doesn't make any sense. When it doesn't make sense, what's Judge Judy say? If it doesn't make sense, it's not true. So anyway. All right. What else do we have going on today? National Mall prayer event sparked concern about Trump's administration eroding the wall between church and state. So let me get this right. We had this big all-day prayer event on National Mall on Sunday, which is today, backed by the White House through a mix of taxpayer funds and private donations. It is the most recent flashpoint in Trump administration blurring separation of church and state. Yeah, well, there you go. Why wouldn't it? The event, dubbed Rededicate 250, a national jubilee of prayer and praise and Thanksgiving. Did we bring the big golden statue of Trump and to bring that out too, so people can worship and pray on that too? I mean, give me a freaking break. I mean, look, I am a Christian, and this kind of stuff offends me, because I don't believe the administration, they're trying too hard to prove that they're, oh, we're Christian, oh, we believe in God, and all this stuff. I have a hard time buying into that, because of all the other things that go on that make you say, okay, well, they're not, because if you were a Christian, you wouldn't be doing this. I mean, you know what I mean? It just, like his feud with the Pope. I mean, I got feedback from that last show that I did when I was talking about the Pope calling Trump a liar, that, when he was saying all those things. And I said, because I said, because I joked and said, oh, if you're listening, it's not a good idea to fight with the Pope, because, if you want to get into heaven. And somebody told me, oh, well, I think he can get into heaven anyway. I forget what he said. I don't even know. But I was like, look, he may or may not, I just said, it's not a good idea to fight with the Pope. Not when the Pope is like the top guy, and it's got the ear of the big guy. Just my opinion. That was what, all right. So let me get back to this Jubilee rededication 250. Let's see. The National Jubilee of Prayer and Praise and Thanksgiving is part of a series of celebrations commemorating America's 250th birthday, and it's expected to feature video messages from Donald Trump and other members of his cabinet. Oh, look, even Mike Johnson's getting in on the act. He will deliver some remarks too. The event will bring together faith leaders, public officials, musicians to reflect on worship ahead of the anniversary of the nation's founding. So, yeah, I just, it screams fake to me. They're trying too hard They're trying too hard. Trump's trying too hard to prove that he is Christian. And I mean, I mean, he already said back in 2016, back then that he wasn't, he wasn't a religious guy, which is fine. You don't have to be. You don't have to be religious. You don't have to believe in God if that's what you choose. Um, but don't play, don't play to the Christians and the evangelical community, by doing these things, trying to make it look like you are. I mean, you try too hard, you look stupid. I mean, look at Hegseth. He went act like he was quoting the Bible, and he was quoting a verse from a friggin' movie that wasn't even a Bible verse. I mean, you just make yourself look stupid when you do things like that. Um, just be yourself, be true. I mean, don't try to make up these things and act like you're this and you're that, and because people are going to see through it. And that's what this I just it just doesn't. This thing just Sunday's event is the latest in a series of faith initiatives and policy moves championed by the White House that also bolstered emphasis on Christianity in the government, operating culture, and policy. Freedom 250, a nonprofit subsidiary of the National Park Foundation, which functions as the National Park Service fundraising arm, organized the event. Rededicate 250 will be a powerful moment to reflect on where we have been, recommit ourselves to the ideals and define us, and look forward to a renewed hope and purpose, said Freedom 250 senior advisor Danielle Alvarez. Well, there you go, folks. I think it's a bunch of crap. But that's me. Think what you want. Go with what you want. Whatever you think is whatever. All right. What else we got here? So I saw that Trump threatened Iran again for like the 60th time, I think now. Let me see if I can find it so I quote it correctly. Man. All right, let's see if I can find it, make sure I do it right. Okay, here we go. President Donald Trump issued an escalating warning to Iran on Truth Social. Gotta love Truth Social. He wrote, "For Iran, the clock is ticking and they better get moving fast or there won't be anything left of them. Time is of the essence." So, look, and he wonders where the term taco came from, because that ship has sailed. I'm sorry. The threats don't mean anything anymore. Nobody's worried that he's threatening anymore. And I'm sure Iran isn't sitting back going, "Oh my God, he's threatening us. We better do something," because they're saying, "Yeah, you're full of crap. We've heard you've threatened us 50 million times, and then you've turned back the threat. You took it back. You did all these other things, so he's lost all credibility. And other countries are seeing it. Iran, he's all these other countries like Russia and China and North Korea, they're all watching what we did with Iran, because now they know that we're a bunch of we don't follow through. He doesn't follow through with anything. He threatens and then he takes it back. Threatens and then it takes it back. Threatens and takes it back. I mean, there is no follow through. I mean, we bombed. We took out their Navy. We took out their Air Force. A big deal, because they're still able to lob missiles. They've rebuilt their capabilities to launch. I mean, you didn't take out anything. I mean, you didn't hurt them that much, because they're still able to, and I've been saying this from the beginning, they're still able to keep the strait closed, and do the way they want it. Now they're allowing ships to go through, but they have to be coordinated with the Iranian Navy. What? But wait a minute. We were told there was no Navy. We were told we destroyed their Navy, but somehow they manage. So, I don't know. It just, you know, so these threats don't mean anything, and it's a shame, where he's weakening this country. Supposed to make it stronger, and he's weakening our credibility, as always doing. Let's see. This threat comes as diplomatic negotiations between the two countries remain deadlocked. Strait of Hormuz, Trump has consistently pressured Iran to open the vital waterway, previously threatening to destroy its power plants and bridges if the passage is not cleared. Ceasefire status. Shaky ceasefire has been in place, but tensions continue to flare. Ongoing dispute over the blockades and negotiations. So, I mean, on one hand, Trump saying, "Oh well, we're negotiating," and Iran saying, "No, we're not. No, we're not. We're not giving in on this. We don't want. We're not. We're. So again, like I was saying, I know I've said on previous shows, it's you gotta take everything that everybody's saying on both sides with a grain of salt, because you can't believe, you don't know who's lying, and I'm to the point now where I don't believe a lot of the stuff this administration tries to feed down our throats. I just don't. I don't believe it. I don't think that, I don't know why they feel that the American people are that stupid that we're going to just keep believing it, and what's that quote? It's like when he gets asked about the gas prices. It drives me nuts when he gets asked about the gas prices, because I know exactly what he's going to say. And he says the same thing every single time that he answers. Well, gas prices aren't as high as we thought they were going to be. I thought they were going to be $200 a barrel, and I was okay with that. That's what he said today, I think it was. I was okay with that, but no, it's been down to $99. I don't know when that was, but gas prices are still $4.50 here where we are. So I don't know, where the gas prices are lower. It's not, so I mean, just to say that is, and then, the other thing that he's taking all that heat for is that comment that he made about not thinking about the American people, not thinking about the American people's financial situation. And that just proved, I mean, everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe he said that." And then the hardcore Trumpers are going, "Oh, he didn't mean that." But then he was with Hannity, I think yesterday, and doubled down and said, "I would say it again because it's true." So it's kind of hard to, I mean, when he first said it, Vance came out and said, "Oh, I don't think he meant that. I don't think he said that." And then they played it for him. And then, Vance kind of looked stupid, because he's trying to defend the president. "Oh, I don't think he said that." And then they play what he said. Oh, what do you do then? And there was somebody else that said the same thing. "Oh, I don't think he said that." And then, then they find out that he actually did. And then what's he do? He doubles down and says that he would say it again and that it's the truth. I'll tell you one thing, at least he's consistent. At least he's consistent. Um, he's got I mean, I've said this in the past. I'd hate to be one of his aides because he does not listen. His advisors, he does not listen to his advisors. I mean, he says whatever he wants. And it's and that was part of the reason I liked him in the beginning, because he did that. But now he just says crazy shit, and that's some crazy shit. You don't tell the American people that you don't think about their financial situation. Basically you're saying, I don't give a shit that you're struggling to put food on your table, put gas in your car, to to pay your electric and all the other things, because he doesn't care. He is so far out of touch with the American people. And I've said this on previous shows, so you guys have heard me say it. This isn't anything new. We need a president who's come from being poor. not these idiots who come from money, because when they come from money, they cannot, and there's no way for them to relate to relate with the American people, with the average American people. The guy who works 40 hours a week or 50 or 60 hours a week to put food on the table to support his family, who's living paycheck to paycheck. They just don't, he does not, and Trump is one of those that just do not. And the majority of Congress and Senate, I guarantee you can say the same thing, that they just don't relate to the everyday problems that the average American has, you know. And I don't give a crap if you like what I'm saying or not. That's this show. This show, we got away from that when I started this show back in 2016. I said it was going to be, I don't care who you are, I don't care what side of the aisle you sit on, Republican, Democrat, Independent. I don't give a crap about that, because I'm going to say whatever and I'm going to hit whoever. There isn't going to be some love fest, and a Trump love fest. It got to the point where I was getting things, people saying, this show is heard everywhere. It's all over the world. And, you're told that we're loved all over the world and that Trump is adored all over the world. Well, guess what? I can tell you firsthand that he's not, because I get emails all the time from radio stations that we're on, from people sending in to them, asking us different things about our show. And the biggest thing is, we don't want to hear about Trump. We don't like Trump, especially in the UK. Trump is not popular in the UK. People are like, oh, who cares? But you know what? It's a big deal. And it's not just the UK, but a lot of feedback that I get from the UK is that, this show turned into a love fest for Trump. And that's all we weren't pointing out anything else. And it was just that, no matter what he did, the blinders were on, and, it was, and the other co-host, that was the problem. Me, I'm consistent. I've been consistent from the beginning, since the day he came down the escalator, and I backed him. I always was backing him. When he does something good, I'll be the first one to tell you he's doing good. But when he does something stupid and something wrong, I'll be the first one to point it out. And it doesn't make me popular, but you know what? I don't care either. There's a big difference. I don't bend. I don't follow the crowds, and that makes me, puts me out there sometimes. It puts me out there and at odds with people. But I got family members that we don't talk because of my opinions. That especially when it comes to Trump and the things that he's doing. But nothing's going to change my mind. I'm not going to change my point of view. I'm not going to sway because somebody says, I'm not going to listen to your show, because you know what? I mean, I got tens of thousands, millions of listeners all over the world, so I hate to lose listeners, but, I'm not going to change my point of view because of somebody doesn't like what I'm saying. Again, and it goes for anybody. It doesn't just mean Trump. I mean, the whole administration is just out of touch, and they follow Trump because they're afraid to say anything else. They're afraid to go against, because look what happens when you go against them. You go against them and you're the enemy. And all those people that we talked about earlier, are learn that lesson. I mean, they went against, they didn't agree, and they spoke out, and Trump tried to smash them into the ground and make them, try to cancel them, basically, and make them the bad guys. So his followers won't listen to those people. But Trump has to understand, Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, and those others, people, his MAGA people came from those people. his followers came from those people. Those people are the ones that helped him get elected, and those people are the ones that, got him into the White House a second term. So, it's just he forgot that, and it's a shame that he forgot it. It's a shame that he just forgot that part of it. Well, speaking of administration, I think Kash Patel. Well, let me tell you, I've met Kash Patel. He is the biggest dick. He thinks highly of himself, and he is the biggest dickhead there is. So Kash Patel's bizarre, lavish outings are becoming a serious problem for the FBI. Reports about Pearl Harbor VIP snorkel and the FBI jet trip to a country music concert are intensifying scrutiny on Trump's aligned FBI chief. Look, in my opinion, Kash needs to go. He's not doing anything. He hasn't done anything since he's been in that position. He's not qualified to do that position. There's so many other people out there, that the FBI Director Kash Patel is facing fresh scrutiny from two new reports revealing he participated in a VIP snorkeling excursion in Hawaii and traveled aboard the FBI jet to attend a luxury country music concert outing with his girlfriend. The episodes are deeply concerning in the use of government resources, increasingly celebrity inflected culture surrounding the leadership of the Bureau. Patel has spent recent weeks battling allegations about excessive drinking, retaliatory investigations, and erratic management inside the FBI, while simultaneously trying to consolidate control over an agency President Donald Trump has long portrayed as a politically compromised. So, yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he can go. I mean, we got rid of the others for less. I think Trump needs to just, cut his ties with this guy, fire his ass, and put somebody else in there. There's got to be somebody else that can handle that job better than he is, because he's done nothing. I mean, if you guys can, I'm more than happy to hear anything, that he's actually done, that since he's been in that position, to help the country. Let me know. I mean, send me the comments. I'll be more than happy to, to see. But as far as I'm aware of, he hasn't done shit. And like I said, I've met Kash Patel. He is a dick. I don't like him. So some of that might have come from that, but I never believed that he was right for that position. Trump put all his friends and everybody into these positions, and then he's realizing, oh, well, these people weren't qualified. Well, no shit. Hegseth is another one. He's not qualified to be in that position, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, yeah, he was a Marine, blah, 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 but it doesn't make you capable of handling that type of position. I mean, he took a lot of heat in front of Congress the other day, and some of the stuff he couldn't answer for. He tried to use his this and that and run around and skirt over the question and things like that, but everybody's like, oh, Democrats are just trying to bring up crap and try to say things, but they brought up a lot of some good things that he couldn't answer for. I don't know. I wish I could. I'm sorry, I can't find it. I wanted to talk about the Putin one, but I still have been looking for that article and I can't find it. And that was my main thing I wanted to talk about today. But let's see. See if I can find it again here. Okay, let's see. All right. Leaked European intelligence and media reports indicate that Russian President Vladimir Putin spent extended periods of time hiding in highly secure underground bunkers, particularly in I don't know, Kazdar or whatever region. These isolation tactics are driven by growing paranoia regarding assassination attempts, drone strikes, and internal coups. Excuse me. Um, so what I had read earlier on the other article that I had read was that some of his elite guys, some of the elite uh, fighters, military, were not happy with the way that he's handling the war with Ukraine, and he was afraid that they're going to take him out. So he's fearing for his safety amid struggling economy and unpopular war in Ukraine. Putin has just drastically restricted his public appearance, often hiding in bunker complexes. So I don't know if there's truth to that or not, or it could be his days are numbered. Who knows? But then what happens? Then we got to worry about who gets in, who takes his place. That will be a whole nother story in itself. Who comes after him? Could be worse than him. I mean, I don't know. It's yeah. So yeah, I mean, so he's hiding in bunkers apparently, and afraid for that he's going to be assassinated. And it could happen. The other article that I read was saying that there's a good possibility that he could be taken out from within. So that's not good for him. I don't know if it's good for us either. I don't know what that does for relations with us if somebody else takes over. But I don't know. Gonna be interesting. The whole thing, whole world screwed up. I mean, there's so much crap going on now in this country, and in the world for that matter. So yeah, it's gonna be a interesting time. It is an interesting time with everything going on. But again, whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, it really doesn't matter. When it comes down to it, I mean, bottom line is that we all want the same thing. We all want this country to thrive. We all want to be able to pay our bills, put food on our table, put gas in our cars, and do things, and still have money to take a vacation or whatever. And right now you can't do those things. Anybody that was planning on traveling for the summer, I mean, now your gas is almost $5. And you got a president sitting there going, well, it's a temporary thing, gas prices are going to drop like a rock when this thing's over. But there's no end in sight for this Iran thing. We have no end in sight. I mean, if you listen to the rumors and you listen to the so-called people that are in supposed to be in the know, then you realize that it's never going to be over. It's going to be a while before this thing ends. And if that's the case, this country can't handle it, and the American people are going to voice their opinion in November. I can guarantee you that. That's the bottom line: is the American people are going to voice their opinion come November, and we're going to lose the House, lose the Senate. If we're going to lose the House, definitely, I believe. Senate, we may by the skin of our teeth keep it, and then in 28, all bets are off. That's why Trump needs to be paying attention to that, and he's just not doing that. He's all over the place. He's not focused at all. His attention span is like a 2-year-old. And he's all over the place. And he just keeps repeating the same things over and over again, the same talking points about the gas prices. Oh, gas is going to be lower. I thought it was going to be higher. Like jokes, like it's a fucking joke or something. I thought they were going to be higher. And the stock market's doing good. Yeah, but the stock market, the average American doesn't give a crap about the stock market because the average American has not anywhere near the stock market. Don't have the money to invest. He does. His buddies do. His family does. All his buddies, all the administration, yes, they're making money. And he's making money because when he made 3,600 stock trades in this first year that he's been in office. 3,600 stock trades. So he's making money hand over fist. His family's making money hand over fist. But we're supposed to sit back and go, well, the gas price, it's only going to be temporary. And the diehard idiots that will believe that will repeat the same talking points, because I know people that repeat everything word for word that he says, they say, and it's a shame. Take the friggin' blinders off, wake up, and smell the coffee, because the truth will set you free. All right, that's Maverick. I'm out of here, guys. I'll be back. Yeah, I'll be back again. Maybe a couple of days or whatever. But yeah, I'm out of here.
Alpha, Maverick in the booth. Lock the doors. Nobody gets out. Nobody. Left side lying. Right side crying. Think of the names on the ballot. Throw the whole box in the gutter. Red tie, blue tie, same vulture. Feeding on the scraps of the street.